Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining to our session. My name is Lev Kommisarchik. I'm the director of mobile games at Anzu. I'm happy to have here with me Mert Şimşek from Apps, the CMO and co-founder.
Hello, everyone.
And today, hi, Mert. Today we're going to discuss basically how apps succeeded in leveraging the in-game monetization with various options, and also we'll double down on the in-game format. Are you ready to start, Mert?
Yeah, totally ready.
Okay, so for everyone here who is less familiar, what do you say? What makes the hyper-casual segment so popular lately?
Perfect. Actually, the most popular reason for that is it's really easy to play hyper-casual games. So you don't need any special talent. You don't need any like extra equipment. Only you need your mobile device, and also you don't need to create a separate time for playing the game. So it's really easy to play these games. So I guess that's why hyper casual games are popular these times.
Okay, so low entering barrier. This is definitely great, and we see how this segment scales up. Do you think that the pandemic actually contributed, as we all now sitting at home playing games, that did it also affect in the same manner on hyper casual?
Mm-hmm. So I cannot say it affected positively or negatively at the moment because we didn't see any data that shows that. But I can say that it's a personal opinion. So since we are working or studying from home, and we are not like commuting to offices or like schools, etc., we have an extra time for playing games, and this may make people to play like more casual or mid-core games. It may affected negatively hyper casual games, but also when people playing mid-core games more than the pre-pandemic years, so they are seeing more hyper casual advertisements at the moment. So it may bring a balance to that. So I can say that we didn't see any impact, positive or negatively, just personal opinions.
Okay, this is very interesting. Basically, what you're saying that since people have more free time and they invest it in games, they're more exposed to advertisement, and this is why part of this time goes to actually hyper casual. On the other side, since they're not commuting and they're not doing their usual activities, maybe they have less let's say small chunks of time to go on hyper casual, and this basically balances both. So before we'll discuss the hyper casual gamer, I heard that you're a gamer yourself. Can you share with us what game you like to play?
Actually, I play Apex Legends on my console, so I can say that I like AAA games and more competitive games. It's a funny thing. Like we are developing hyper casual games, which doesn't require any special talents from like gamers, but I'm on the other side, like playing AAA games. So yeah. Apex Legends, I can say.
Okay, so actually, we see a huge trend of companies moving toward multi-platform games. So maybe not for hyper casual, but maybe one day we will see apps developing more sophisticated games for various platforms, as we see from many other developers. around the globe. Now, so what do you think? Who is the person? Who is the traditional hyper-casual gamer?
Yes, I can say that everyone could be because of the, like, as I mentioned before, like you don't need any special talent. You don't need lots of time to play this game. I was telling about we can exclude hardcore gamers from this segment, but other than that, I believe everyone is a potential hyper-casual gamer from 7 to 77.
So wouldn't you say it's only kids playing those games?
No, I don't say that because we have data about it. So, for example, our latest game, Fashion Battle, most of its players are in the range of age 25 and 40. So, I believe they are not kids. So, yeah.
But probably definitely only male, right?
No, they are mostly female players because it's a fashion game. Like female users liked it more. But we have also male players, not that much only.
So I ask that on purpose, of course, because many times the gamer is associated with men or especially Z or Y generation, and here we actually see the counter to that. We see 25 to 40 years old female who are playing those games. No wonder that the advertisements there goes so well. I can tell you personally that we're making many efforts to introduce hyper-casual games to brands to inject additional sources of revenue into this cycle. Which actually, this topic leads me to ask you about how you decided to implement in-game ads.
So, to be honest, we didn't know anything about in-game ads. When I attended a conference, PG Connect, it was last year, September, if I remember correctly. So there I met with Masha, with Anzu. So then he told us like, okay, you can add an additional revenue to your game without hurting anyone else, like without hurting the traditional ads revenue, without hurting the user experience. So we thought on that, and it made sense because it's an additional revenue and we are not hurting anyone. So we tried it. And we saw good results on our tests. Then we decided to use like in-game ads in our games. After
Just a
that,
second. I want to pause you because I heard something that doesn't sound reasonable. You met a salesperson, he promised you stuff, and that turned out to be right?
yeah, it doesn't happen every time, so sorry from the salespersons. I can tell myself as a like salesperson's person because I'm working on the marketing side. But yeah, it was a miracle.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear that Anzu salespeople actually tell the truth. So go on, tell the rest of the story.
Mhm. So after that, we tried it, as I mentioned, and results were good. It didn't really hurt user experience because we didn't see any decrease on in-game KPIs, and also it didn't affected our traditional ad revenue stream. So we decided to move on with that. So you may ask me why did you choose Anzu? I can say that the right time, right place, because we heard in-game advertisements first from Anzu. So and after that, okay, we can heard from Anzu that there's an opportunity on the in-game ads. It's okay, but the most important thing after the talk, so we saw a good support from Anzu team, both technically and on the monetization side. For example, we got some feedbacks like, okay, you can add here a placement and it may make sense. Then we tried it. Even some of them didn't work. It's normal, but getting some feedbacks on these placements were really helpful. So that's why we kept working with Anzu.
So not because of the revenue you made.
The revenue, it's because of revenue we are using in-game ads. We are implementing in-game ads into our games, and we see that Anzu doing really good job here. But the key reason that we are working with Anzu still is because of the support you guys give us.
Thank you. I'll stop squeezing compliments from you now. I can also tell you that back in September, 1.5 years ago, I also never heard about in-game advertisement. And because I was not working back then at Anzu, I only joined about 6 months ago. So the funny part is that, but since then, I don't stop hearing about it from every possible angle. It seems like this format is on fire. Do you get this vibe as well?
Yeah, I can say that now I see lots of companies that serving in-game ads to publishers like us, and they are getting bigger. So back that time, I only knew Anzu as an in-game ads company, but now there are lots of, and I believe there will be more than that, because as you said, I agree with that. This type of revenue stream is really cool, and it will be more popular next years, or maybe even in a shorter time.
Definitely. So it's definitely good for us to have competition. Basically, it proves that this topic is huge. By the way, just a side note, to me, who used to work with advertisement for years, but I used to think of the traditional advertisement, the user acquisition based advertisement. And I used to hear about those huge budgets, millions over millions per month. Some even would spend millions per day. And I used to think that these are the big budgets. But then when I doubled down on the brand side of things, turned out that Unilever didn't become Unilever without investing in marketing. And companies like Walmart cannot open thousands of shops without marketing. So turns out that the traditional marketing budgets are actually way bigger, like they're at scale bigger than our cozy, nice, and well familiar gaming sphere. And I look at in-game as injection pipe of the connection between those two oceans, and as an injection pipe of new revenue, new money to this sphere. By the way, can you maybe share with us some numbers? What percentage nowadays this revenue contributes to your ads?
I can tell. I can tell about our two games, like Fashion Battle and Trivia Race. We first tested it on Trivia Race, and we have implemented it to Fashion Battle like a short while ago. So it's kind of new. But I can say that for the last 7 days, 7% of the revenue is coming from Anzu for Fashion Battle, and 9% of the revenue of trivia race is coming from Anzu, and also I double checked the in-game KPIs with and without Anzu. We ran a A/B test to see if there's a difference or not, and I can say that there is no significant difference with and without Anzu in the matter of in-game KPIs like retention rate, playtime, or level funnel. These stayed same, and it also didn't affected our traditional ad revenue. So I can say that it's equal on the interstitial revenue, banner revenue, rewarded revenue, etc. It didn't affected anything, but created 7% or 9% revenue on the other side.
Okay, this is great. By the way, we can run the video in the meantime to show our viewers how ads actually look. So while the video is running, here it is. So this is a fashion battle. Mert, as far as I remember, what's interesting in a fashion battle is actually that as opposed to a trivia race where you injected in-game ads after already having a successful title, here in fashion battle you had the ability to plan ahead and to implement the ads during the process of actually even building the game. So how would you describe, what is the difference in your opinion in planning ahead versus just adding it on top?
And so for the trivia race, as we mentioned, we integrated Anzu after we launched the game, and also we scaled the game. So it was a bit harder to find a suitable placement for Anzu, because we didn't think about that at the creation process. So it was a bit harder, but for Fashion Battle and Carpet Roller, we had always in our minds that, okay, if that game will be a successful title, then we should be adding in-game ads placements to the game. So we need to think about, okay, we can place here a billboard, we can fly a Zeppelin through there, and this is becoming a normal procedure for our game development process, because especially in hyper-casual genre, when you're developing the game, you always think about okay, where should we show an where should we show a rewarded ad, how we should give users a soft currency through watching a rewarded ad. We are always thinking about that, but now we have another job to think about. It's something new for us, and I believe for everyone in the this business. But it will be a common practice in a short while.
So basically what you say that you started treating in-game ads just like a rewarded video, when during the game design you actually consider where you're going to place those ads.
Yes, because 7% or 9% of the revenue is a huge amount.
Okay, so this is great. So since this format of ads actually requires to have a viewable impression by the IAB standard, while planning the placement, do you consider the gameplay itself, how to make sure that the user will, to ensure that the user will see the ad for long enough in order to count an impression, and not too long, not to waste the time of the session?
So So I'm not in the production team, so I will say things that I heard from our product team. So they are like they are thinking the camera angle. For example, when they are prototyping the game, because it affects not only the in-game ads, also the retention rate, so other in-game KPIs. So I can say that in-game ads placement and thinking about that, it's still not our first like thing to think about it. Also, I can say interstitial and rewarded placements are not the first thing we are considering when we are creating the game. But after we prototype the game, then we are thinking about, okay, now how we can integrate interstitial. Okay, we can integrate it, but we need to change this a little bit. Then we are doing this change. So, okay, how can we show like 3 placements to the user through a level? Okay, so we can place it here, but we need to change these little things to make it like visible enough time. So after we prototype the game, then we are thinking about these placements. So we are changing some little things.
Okay, so thank you. I was just rethinking now about what you said about having no impact on users, and it sounds a little bit too good to be true, because what you say is that you managed to increase revenue by 7-9%, and this is not the end, without impacting the user experience, and also without significant technical impact on the game itself and the performance. So I wonder, maybe it's only your opinion. I mean, you look at the revenue, you look at the numbers, it looks okay, but maybe the players themselves, they think differently. Did you get any feedback from the players?
So first of all, I can say these are not my opinions. I just yesterday looked for the A/B test result data. So these are not opinions; these are like facts. And I can say that retention rate and playtime didn't affect it by integrating Anzu. So these are facts. But on the other side, we haven't received any negative feedback on these placements. On the other side, we heard some positive feedbacks from our like friends, colleagues from other companies like that. They told us like it feels realistic when you see these billboards on the game, because we are walking through the cities and we see lots of billboards, and we don't say, okay, I don't want to see this billboard, because nobody is forcing us to see that billboard. If you like look to there, you will see it. So for the game, it's pretty similar. There's a billboard there, or there's a zeppelin through the sky, so you don't have to see that advertisement. It's visible on the screen, like we are walking on the city, but you don't have to see that. But on the other side, for interstitials, there's an advertisement, and you have to see it for a 5 or 6 seconds. Or for the rewarded, okay, it's a better option than the interstitial, because they are willing to like watch these ads to get a price after that. But I can say that people are seeing these in-game ads like they see banners, like traditional banners. The only difference is they can click to the banner and they can leave the game. So it hurts both user experience and our in-game KPIs. But for the in-game ads, they are not clickable, so they cannot click on the ad. So it's good on the every side.
So this exactly brings me to my next question. So if those ads are not clickable, they're on the video, there's no voice, Have you ever wondered what's the benefit from the advertiser side? Why do they actually advertise?
Perfect. So here's my honest opinion. I didn't run any campaigns like this before, so I cannot tell like 100% what they are getting a positive result from this, but I can say that Coca-Cola. Not needed to mention Coca-Cola, like television ads, they are not clickable either, or like I mentioned before, billboards on cities, they are not clickable, or you cannot interact with these ads. But when user sees these advertisements, now I can mention Coca-Cola, for example. If I see Coca-Cola on lots of places, like on the city, on television, when playing fashion battle, so now, as a user, as a simple normal user, I can tell that okay, Coca-Cola is a big company. So if I want to drink Coke, then I will choose Coca-Cola. It's kind of creepy, in my opinion, and it may not make sense because I think it's kind of psychological thing. But the effect is real. I can say from myself. So I believe that's why they are promoting their brands through this.
I can add that for us, just as you said, personal thoughts are not enough. At the end, Anzu goes and convinces brands to put their money in those ads. And we do that basically by measuring. So correct, we cannot measure exactly how many views. Well, the views we can measure, but we cannot measure the clicks and the exact impact. But we use the same methods that are being used to measure effectiveness of billboards, newspapers, and all the traditional media. Basically, we're speaking the language of the advertiser. We're doing what they're used to do. We're doing that with them and for them. We've already ran several brand lift studies with companies like Comscore and Nielsen. Moat helps to measure our viewability. Human, previously White Ops, actually tracks the quality of the traffic. So we provide the advertisers all the necessary tools to ensure and to measure the success of their campaigns. By the way, I can also say that even in the past 2 months, we already have recurring campaigns. We have brands who are coming back and they're exceeding the budgets. If their initial budget was 200,000, so they're now adding another 100,000 for a second period, and this is before Q4. So yes, even if we think that we do not see an ad, don't be surprised when you go to supermarket and you choose a certain brand, or suddenly you buy a particular toy to your kid, or suddenly you just need a new Tesla for yourself. So this is what we have now, and this is what we're dealing from both ends. Your challenge is to make sure everything works flawlessly. My challenge is to bring the demand. What do you think will happen next? What is the future of in-game advertisement? Maybe it's just temporary thing.
I don't think it's a temporary thing. I think there will be more companies that works on this area, and I believe some of these companies will like become a sector leader. Like all we know about the traditional advertisement solutions. So I believe one time there will be a mediation solution for these types of ads, because publishers are hungry for more revenue. So that's why we are using mediation platforms for traditional ads revenue. So that's why publisher will be wanting for mediation platform for these types of ads too. So I believe it will become real in near future, maybe 1 or 2 years later. But I don't think it's a temporary thing.
Thank you. So our time is almost over, and we have quite a lot of questions. We'll have some time to ask one or two. So here's the first question to you. It says runner genre is limited in the ad visibility. Do you, as a publisher, adjust the speed of the player in order to give more visibility time to the ads?
Mm-hmm. So this is a right concern. Runner genre is it's a runner, so we are passing through the platform quickly. So we are trying to fine tune this thing. Like as mentioned in the question, we can like leverage the speed of the player to make more visibility for the ad, but we are always doing this through A/B tests. So we need to see that, okay, if we slow the users, then will it affect to other KPIs like retention rates, playtime, level funnel? So if it's not affecting badly and is increasing the revenue, so that's a green light for us. But on the other side, if it's not working, then we are trying to find a new solution. For example, for the trivia race, it's also a runner game, a runner trivia game, but we found a solution that at the end of the level, we are like climbing through a platform to the highest point to get more points. And there we have time for ads to show. So we placed a zeppelin through the sky. So we solved that problem like that. But on the fashion battle, we are showing billboards at the beginning of the level because there's a like finding opponent process through there. So we have time to show an advertisement. So it's solvable. But as we mentioned before, we need to think about it like how we think about rewarded ads or interstitial ads. We need to think about it, how we can maximize the visibility and how we also, by doing this, how we cannot affect our users badly.
Thank you. So our final question is a straightforward one. I'm sure the answer is long, but let's try kind of to summarize it in a few sentences. What is more effective, rewarded video ads or in-game ads?
It's a it's a difficult question because of the effective word. I can say that we have lots of more options for the rewarded videos, so it's more effective on that way. But in-game ads are more effective because we are not interrupting users, and yeah, I can say that we are using them all together, so I don't need to choose one of them to other. But for the user experience, I can easily say that in-game ads are better for that. But for the like CPM values or like being able to reach more ad networks easily, I can say that rewarded ads are better.
I honestly agree. I want to add also that the purpose of the ads is slightly different, especially in other more complicated type of games where the rewarded video is also used to promote the user, to either promote him to become a payer, but also to promote the user within the game. So he'll be able to proceed in the game. Otherwise, he will be stuck. So it's not an exact comparison, but I'm happy, Mert, you're saying that you don't have to compromise here. You just can have them both.
Yeah.
So looks like our time is up. I want to thank you, Mert, for working with us so far and for sharing your experience, joining us today. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.